All right, we here with Eastside Tigers defensive lineman Will Norman, fresh off his first game of the season back in the state of New Jersey. Will, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
Ain't nothing much, just excited to be back home and be with the family.
So my question for you, I guess that a lot of people may want to know is, what prompted you to come back? A lot of times when guys go away to IMG, or if they decide to go to Bosco or wherever they may go, what made you decide to come back home?
Coming into high school, I was a basketball player and I started my high school journey over Roman Catholic over Philadelphia. So, just having the blessings and the opportunity that I was gifted with, I kind of wanted to share that with my family and friends. I never had the chance to honestly play in front of a home crowd. So going to IMG for 2 years and soaking in all that knowledge and coming into my senior year, I just felt it was best to share it with my family and friends, but one last time.
Right. So, a lot of people may not know you played youth football.
Yes, sir.
So who did you play for during youth days?
Camden Powell, and then I finished with GT Steins down there with you.
So, what was that like, growing up playing football and getting to the age of, I guess, 14, 15,
Yes, sir.
having to make a decision of going directly to a predominantly basketball school at the time, Roman Catholic was. What was that decision like for you to make, just to kind of focus on basketball at that time?
Coming out of 8th grade, like I played both. I was, like I said, I was at GT Science. I was also playing AAU with the New York Rens for basketball. But as the high school scholarships start coming in, I kind of had to, like you said, make a kind of grown man decision, kind of time to grow up. And one of the schools was Roman Catholic, and their basketball program at the time, like you mentioned, was like a top 25 team in the country. And I was gifted like a varsity spot as a freshman at a school that not really many freshmen could start varsity. So when I was given the opportunity, it kind of was like, you got to take it and run with it. And that was the biggest window at the time. So I just jumped through the door.
Yeah, that was a big move. Every time I used to see you at the games and out in different places. I always ask how you were doing.
Yes, sir.
But, during that process, you just started getting football scholarships, man,
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
Yes, sir.
So once you started getting those scholarships, you had to make another decision, right? So
Yes,
how
sir.
tough was that, man? I know, listen, to play hoops,
Yeah.
the ball is a little bit different than
Yes,
playing
sir.
football. So how was that decision for you?
My freshman year was kind of COVID. It was COVID year, so I like to tell people the story that the football coach kind of used to nag at me every day, trying to get me out there, just try to get me to work out. And it kind of was like, a kind of annoying thing at the time. I used to see it as like, you shooting my basketball dreams kind of low, so I used to kind of give him a little stink eye. But like I said, it was COVID time, so during the COVID time, he actually hit me up for a workout. I actually had nothing planned because it was COVID, so everything was locked down. So I definitely went to that workout, and ever since that workout, college football just been hitting me up. Like many programs, many opportunities I've been blessed with. And I just say like that opportunity was it just came and took me by storm. Like you get over 10 offers in a month, that's kind of like God telling you that's your calling. So that kind of told me right there, like, this is what you obviously are made to do. This is what you're blessed to do. So take it and run with it. You can never turn that many opportunities down.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely. That's a very mature answer and very mature way of thinking about things.
Yes, sir.
You made that decision. You had to make some very tough decisions in a short amount of time.
Yes, sir.
I would be remiss if I didn't mention that when you were in school with Johnny Martin, we would get reports back how hard you were working.
Yes,
and
sir.
things that you were doing to get better as a football player.
Yes, sir.
You go away from football for a couple of years, you start to lose some of the technical technique and
Yes,
different
sir.
things like that. And you grew, what are you, 6'6" right now?
Yes, sir.
You grew to 6'6", close to what, 260?
Yeah, I'm 290.
Oh God, 290. Okay, 290.
Yes, sir.
But you grow and mature into that, so it's a little bit different.
sir.
How tough was it for you to get back into the football shape in football mentality too?
Yeah.
So it's a lot different than basketball.
Like as a basketball player, I was always like a hard worker for one, and I was always like the bigger basketball player, the more thicker one. So I feel like my basketball game was always like a more of a rougher game. Like, I finished the game 3 fouls, so I feel like the toughness was always in me, but like you said, the technique definitely did shy away. But that's where the hard work and the dedication towards wanting to get better had to come in. Because, like you said, I took 2 years off the game. So, I had no choice but to just try to put extra work in. And I'm glad that Johnny had a chance to share with some of the home team.
You put in the work, you do what you need to do.
Yes, sir.
And IMG comes calling.
Yes, sir.
So this is another decision that you have to make at this point in time, to go away from your family, from everybody who kind of supported you at that time, especially in the home. I'm talking about the home life, whoever was around, making sure you were doing the right things.
Yes, sir.
You made those decisions to go to the schools away from home.
Yes, sir.
How was it down in Florida for you?
It was definitely a learning experience. I definitely thank God for that opportunity and for that blessing. I definitely feel like I grew as a young man as well as a student athlete. I learned many things on and off the field. I learned how to carry myself on and off the field as well as a player, but as well as a young man. And I learned, most importantly, how to navigate through the sports world and how to navigate through the entertainment industry. You got to know everything is a business and you got to take it as such. So I definitely feel as though my time at IMG was definitely beneficial.
So you just spoke on something that I wanted to talk about.
Yes, sir.
And it wasn't even going to be about this, but the business side of, college football.
Yes, sir.
A lot of players don't understand that, and that's where they get things kind of mixed up when they look at college versus high school. They think just because they were a good high school player that they should automatically get offers as a football player.
Yeah.
But it's a business,
Yes,
and
sir.
a lot of coaches, they'll tell you they're not losing their job.
Oh, yeah.
Real
Yes.
quick, right?
Yes, sir, yeah.
So, they have to make good decisions. So,
Yeah.
Grades, personality, home life, all of that. How was that for you? When you started making your visits to Texas A&M and Florida and Florida State, I'm watching the timeline, getting a little jealous. Like, I want to take them trips.
Yeah.
But, you taking those trips. So how was that talking to those coaches and learning that part of it?
The biggest thing that I learned from like all my visits and just talking to coaches in general, is that they kind of look at players that they feel as though they could put in a locker room right now. So they'll take their 2023 team and they'll try to just see if you could fit in that locker room and see if you could fit in that scheme, in that gel of players, like just to see if you could fit in right now. If you came in right now, would you be a cancer or would you help it ascend? So I feel as though that's the biggest thing. And like you said, it's all aspects. They're looking at personality. They're looking at how you are as a student, how you are as an athlete. They're talking to your coach. How do you respond to criticism? How do you respond to correction? So I feel like it's like everything is thrown into the pot and mixed together. I definitely feel like you have to be an all-around person. Even some of my players that came to Eastside, I tend to tell them, like, when we get caught up looking at other kids with offers and stuff, I kind of tell them, like, let's look in the mirror and ask ourselves, are we even D1? Are we even capable to play at that school right now? Are we able to ascend, help that program right now? So I feel like everything is taken into accountability when you want to be a D1 athlete.
Yeah, you're speaking music to my ears, man.
Yes, sir.
Because I often, like, when we put out, the top 10, top 5, top 15 players, people always jump in the comments like, what, how?
Right.
You know what I mean? And we posted the top 11, and it's guys jumping in there, but people have to look at things outside of where they are. Mm-hmm. We tend to be homers at times, but once you pull that Band-Aid off and you start looking at the world and seeing it a little bit, bigger than just your hometown.
Yes, sir.
So you had that opportunity to go, from state to state, talk to people.
Yes, sir.
Meet different coaches, be coached by different coaches.
Yes, sir.
And you finally make it back home.
Yeah.
How tough was it for you to sit 4 games? Because that's tough, bro.
It was,
I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, honestly,
that's a tough one.
It was real tough. It was real stressful, honestly. Honestly, I just wanted to find the positive outlet in things. I just kind of looked at it as time to reflect on myself and just get my game better and just make my debut the best debut it could be, honestly. I thought I was going to come back to Willingboro game. Unfortunately, I couldn't. That was day 29, so, that even put an extra week of stress on top of it. But like I said, I just tried to use it to get better and just just try to work on my craft as much as I can.
Yeah, I mean, you came back, you had a really good game. I mean, we was joking before we went on live, but you know, you playing a lot of run teams, you know, so the opportunity of getting a ton of sacks is really not going to be there. But I think that's going to help you in the long run.
Yes, sir.
Because once you do get the opportunity to play a team where you can pin your ears back and you get after the quarterback, I think it's going to help you and help your team.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, the playoffs are coming up.
Yes,
you know, Eastside had to get 2 wins to be eligible for the playoffs.
Yes,
they are eligible at the moment, and based on the ratings or rankings where they are right now, it looks like you may get a favorable matchup down the road.
Yes, sir.
That kind of plays into your style of game.
Yes, sir.
New Jersey is a little different than Florida.
Yes, sir.
So it's about to get cold in a couple of days, right?
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? It's a little bit different. So you guys are set up to play St. Augustine Prep, another run team.
Yes, sir.
What has it been like for you to come back the last 2 weeks, finally get the pads on, finally be with your teammates, game planning, prepping, all of that stuff? Like, how has it been for you to get ready, you know, and to get ready to play? And not only that, but to kind of insert yourself on the team. Like, it's a little bit different when you're on the sideline, kind of motivating, but now you're actually playing. So how has that transition been for you?
I would say the transition, like from the sideline to the field, kind of been smooth. I just been trying to share my knowledge. Like I said, I was blessed to be at IMG and soak in all the knowledge from Pepper Johnson, who was a 13, 14-year linebacker in the NFL, played alongside LT, one of the best linebackers ever. So I just wanted to come back and not only be an energy dude, as that's my style of play, is just bring energy and the passion for the game, but also share the knowledge and just keep my team upbeat. Like, when things go left, just let them know that we're still in it. We have a big brother out there that's willing to lead by example and go to war with us. So that's been my biggest thing, is to not only like be a coach on the field, but also lead by example and set the tone for the team and just have everybody lead by example. And, you know, I just wanted to be like a big brother out there and just let them know, like, we can go to war, we can go toe to toe and sacrifice our body. And, you know, that's just what we got to do.
Yeah, so your first game came up against Burlington Township.
Yes.
So run me through the night before, because a lot of people may not know. I'm laughing for a reason. You want to tell them why I'm laughing, or you want me to tell them why I'm laughing?
The night before, I had some trouble sleeping. I just was so antsy. Like, I drove up to Wilson like about 6 a.m. and just parked in the parking lot and just waited for my team to come at 8 a.m. You know, we had a 12 o'clock game. So, like, the night before was just crazy. I was just so antsy. I kept watching film. I kept watching NFL tape, you know, reruns of college games. It just was a lot going through my mind. You know, I like you said, I didn't play the first 4 games of the season. So, you know, just having the opportunity to get back out there was just overwhelming, kind of. You know, I just had to soak it all in and just take it day by day, step by step, play by play.
So if I remember correctly, it was a 3 a.m. text message or post that you had, right?
Yes, sir.
And normally I'm up at 3 a.m. I'm one of 5 of my friends that may be up in the whole entire world at 4 a.m. And I'm up at 3, and I see your post come in, and I'm like, man, if you don't get some sleep, though, right? So I hit you up and told you to get some rest.
Yes,
did you get any rest that night? I mean, you said you had trouble sleeping, but did you get at least a couple of hours?
Yeah, I got a couple hours in, but it was kind of broken up sleep. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of off and on. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, your family and friends get the opportunity to see you play without the travel and you know, added expenses of that. So how was that for you to walk off the field, see your family, friends, and all that? Finally, big Will.
Yes, sir. That was definitely great. You know, as the fourth quarter came to an end, and then you just see everybody like tend to line up on the gate and just try to hug me and just give me handshakes. That was kind of like a dream come true, honestly. Like I said, I never had the chance to play the game of football in high school in front of my home crowd. So that being my first time doing it, you know, I got many more games to come, but that was just like the first. It felt like homecoming, honestly. It just felt like just felt like family. You know, I played in Florida. You know, a lot of people from a lot of different states, a lot of different backgrounds. So being able to play with people that got the same origin as me is kind of different. So I just wanted to soak it all in and enjoy the moment.
All right, man. Well, we're gonna let you go. You got to get ready for your big home debut.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you played at Burlington Township. Playing at home is a little bit different.
Yes,
all
sir.
right. So this weekend, and you guys probably will watch this at halftime as well. But this weekend, you guys can catch Big Will Norman, one of the top defensive tackles or defensive end. What do they have you listed as now? D tackle or DN?
Defensive tackle.
Okay. One of the top D tackles in the country, on his way to Florida. Let me ask you this. Listen, I saw you with the cowboy hat.
Yeah.
I saw you with the spear.
Yes, sir.
I saw you with all of that.
Yes, sir.
The Gator, what was it about Florida that made you make that your home?
It seemed like every time I went down there, I got a home vibe and a home feeling, honestly. The coach's message and the way they communicate with me stayed consistent throughout since freshman year. So meaning consistent through the communication, meaning like no breaks with the communications, whether if I'm responding or not, their message and their communication stayed the same. The way they showed love to me stayed the same. And like I said, every time I was on campus, it just felt like home and welcoming. So you just want to go where it feels like home, honestly.
Yeah. Congratulations on that commitment.
Yes, sir.
Earning a scholarship of any kind, no matter if it's D1, D2,
Yes, sir.
is a blessing. Not everybody gets to play at the next level.
Yes, sir.
So congratulations on that. I got to tell you, I did win the bet.
Thank you.
My friends were they were deciding some other things, but I kind of felt Florida.
Yeah.
And you said something that's key that a lot of people should take from this, and it's a lot of gems in this interview.
Yes, sir.
You dropped some gems, but the biggest one is go where you're wanted,
Yes, sir.
not where you're tolerated. So
Yes, sir.
I say that because a lot of times kids pick schools based on how big it is, how many
sir.
people they get to play in front of, and they get there and they sit for 3 to 4 years or they transfer out.
Yes,
so
sir.
when a school wants you and they're after you, go ahead and make that move. So,
sir.
Will, congratulations,
Yes,
and thanks
thank
for
you.
coming in.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.